Today, we're going to make tortillas, but not just any tortillas. We're going to make gluten-free tortillas. Now this recipe was my wife got off the internet, and it was nurturemygut.com or nurturemygut.com, and it was done by Ester Perez, if I got that name right. And this is her recipe. This is a really good gluten-free tortilla recipe. I highly recommend that you try it out. Now, the ingredients are simple. I've already got them measured out, but I will describe right now how to measure out the flours. Those ones are the keys. I'm going to show you how you add the almond flour to the cup as you're measuring it out for this recipe. This was demonstrated to me by my wife. She's the chef. I am not. I'm just the guy that's on the camera right here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to spoon out the almond flour into your 1 cup measuring cup. Okay, so I have the measuring cup rounded. I'm going to walk over there and zoom in and show you exactly how I was told that we're supposed to do this. When you got the almond flour nice and rounded in the measuring cup, you take your spoon or whatever you scooped it out with, and you just drag it right across the top, pushing out the remainder of the flour. And that'll give you a nice level cup of, well, it's not really too level there, huh? Okay, that's better. So that gives you a nice level cup of flour, almond flour that is. And now we have our 1 cup, nice and level, unpacked almond flour. And you'll measure out the tapioca flour the same exact way. Here are the ingredients you're going to need to make this gluten-free tortilla recipe. We're going to start with our almond flour. We have tapioca flour. Okay, so this right here is 1 cup of almond flour, and we're at 1 3/4 cups of tapioca flour. We have our sea salt, which is ½ a teaspoon. Now this is pink Himalayan sea salt. And then we have 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum in here, but this is the actual package, the xanthan gum. And then the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of honey, which are in here, but my wife found that if you add just 1 tablespoon of olive oil, it turns out a lot better. Plus, the olive oil allows that honey to flow freely out of the cup too, which is a great benefit. So we got all one last ingredient is 1/2 cup of hot water. Now this is just regular room temperature water at this moment. I'm going to put it in the microwave, heat it up as I mix all these other ingredients in. So let's get these ingredients mixed together. As per the instructions, we're going to mix all the ingredients into a large mixing bowl. Now if you've got a KitchenAid mixer, you can use that. It says with a beater attachment on low power. So we're going to just mix the flours, all the dry ingredients, the xanthan gum and the salt, all together. So that's the tapioca, almond, xanthan gum, salt, all the flours and everything. And we're just going to mix that all together, stir it up, and make sure everything is evenly mixed. This recipe makes 6 tortillas. I personally, although I love these tortillas, I can't eat all 6 at one time. So they do refrigerate well. However, you do have to package them in plastic wrap. So I'll take the plastic wrap and I will wrap each of the balls, and I'll do that right away as I form them, just so they don't dry out. Now this dough does dry out rather quickly, so keep that in mind when you're making these. It does help to wrap them in plastic or keep them covered some way to keep them moist if you're not going to press them out right away. So I have my dry mixture all mixed up. I've got my hot water and my honey. Now the next step is to add the honey and hot water slowly while mixing. Watch the dough incorporate and press the dough between your fingers. It should feel like a soft Play-Doh-y texture and not stick to your hands. Add more tapioca flour or hot water accordingly until you get the right texture. So we're going to go ahead and add the honey and olive oil mixture. And like I said, the olive oil does help the honey to flow out of the measuring cup or spoon better. And I'll mix that in first and then slowly add the hot water. Like they said, that if you go too much, you can always add more tapioca flour to get the texture back, or to get more, or to dry it up a bit. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to get that camera in, but it's starting to clump up a lot better. Okay, why not? Let's get our hands dirty. So that's what the dough is supposed to look like. A nice round Play-Doh-y type dough. Got a nice texture. It doesn't stick to my hands and it doesn't feel dry. I'm going to go ahead and form these in the balls, wrap them in plastic, and then we can move over to the oven where we'll start frying them up. I got the tortilla dough rolled out in the balls, and I wrapped them in plastic. And I'm only going to be having 2 of these tonight, so that's why I'm only going to press out 2. So I'm going to take the dough out of the plastic. Now some of you may notice that I've got the tortilla press wrapped with plastic wrap, if you got that astute eye. Well, that plastic wrap helps the tortilla not to stick to either side of the tortilla press, which helps it to come off really quickly and we can get it into the cast iron skillet. Now I am cooking on a cast iron skillet. It's on medium high, so about 6.5. We found that on this oven, 6.5 with this cast iron skillet works the best. Your mileage may vary. So I'm going to go ahead and press this tortilla out. I probably could have gone a little thinner on the tortilla, but so what I'm going to do is tap it around on the skillet a little bit. I find I usually have to do this for the first tortilla, which that'll make it not stick. And then just move it around a little bit and let it cook. So I'm going to go ahead and press out the second one while this one cooks. It shouldn't take that long. Usually to cook these tortillas, if I were to do all 6 at one time, it would take roughly about 15 minutes. No, actually, no. Take it closer to 10 minutes to do all 6 at one time. They cook pretty quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover this one while it stays on the tortilla press. Remember, these do dry out rather quickly, so it is a good idea to keep them covered before you cook them. I'm going to test this and see you can hear it sizzling a little bit, and it is cooking up rather nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and check it. Oh yeah, it might be a little too hot on there, you think? So I'm going to go ahead and let that sit on there for a little bit more. See how quickly they cook. I mean, they do cook up rather quickly, and I can even probably go down a little bit lower on the temperature because these cast iron skillets do keep their heat very well. And I also burn my fingers. Okay, so that one's done. See how quickly they cook up? I'm that much closer to having dinner tonight. Now see, I put it down too soon, so it's sticking to the bottom. So I'm going to have to use the old separator. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and get prepared to eat. Second one's ready to flip already. Burned myself. Ow! Shouldn't have got rid of the separator so quickly. That one's almost done. So that's how easy it is to make gluten-free tortillas. I hope that you go ahead and give this a try at home. These are the best tortillas that I've had outside of going to a Mexican restaurant. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something. If you have, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and do all that other stuff. And remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching.